Hello, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. I am so excited for today's show because one, we have a musical guest. Two, she just has a new single that came out. And three, she's doing so much in the musical community to help other creatives. So I'm really excited to share today's guest, Kendra Black. And, she's going to do a set for us. We're going to do a little bit of an interview. And I hope that you guys can stick with us on this happy Memorial Day on, I guess, weekend, 3-day weekend. So without further ado, I'm going to have Kendra come on and do a set, and we will be with you in a second.
Take you on to get on my heart. Don't wanna pay the cost if it falls apart. Here I stand, I got my guard up, ready to say whoa. Fear comes between every breath that's scared. Whoa. It's the craziest drive. When I get around you, I feel like an animal. It's like I love
feel the bass. From the ceiling to the base, I don't feel a thing. Get the fuck about my face, bitch. I don't feel a thing. Yeah, I'm faded. Yeah, I'm shaking. I don't feel a thing. I can feel the bass. I can feel the bass. Each story to me. Each story to break. I can feel the ball. Each story. Each story to break.
can I say?
With these other people been after fame mean nothing to me, their names mean nothing to me. So if you saying I changed, it's clear that you never knew me. I do what I wanna do this, 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 I do what 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 I do.
Why you got a 12-car garage? Why you pulling out the rapper's car? Tell the nigga pussy in the car. I turn the fucking south to some hard. I grew up in the streets without no heart. I'm praying to my Glock in my car. I sit back and read like head in your head. 21 Savage, the cat with the mat. 21 Savage, not boys in the hood, but I pull up on you, shoot your ass in the back. Screw a little hurdy, nigga, some racks. Pockets full of cheese, bitch, I got racks. I'm a real street nigga, bitch. I am not one of these niggas, niggas, no way. Pussy niggas love sleep, listen till I pull up on them, slap them out. What you mama house, what you bring my house, keep shooting into somebody's house.
Yes, I got my swagger back. Yes, I got my swagger. Yes, I got my swagger back. Yes, I got my swagger.
Feel the light, and it gets me so high. The higher it seems, the closer I get to my dreams. So don't bother me while I'm building a monopoly. Nothing can get me. Strike a match, I will feel it, baby. Cause every day I wake up and I can't. Every day I wake up and I can't. Every day I wake up and I can't. And when I kill it, tell me to you feel. And I have to make it know my love. I have to feel my love, my love. And nothing you can do will overbreak me. Ooh. Cause I have to feed my love. I have to feed my love.
Baby, you're my
Hustle. Hustle.
baby, you're my hustler.
Told me.
Baby, you're my hustler.
Told me.
Baby, I'm a hustler, keeping it 100, getting my euro. I be globe trotting cash, so will I be on tour though? Cut the seasons to sickness, you know it ain't no cute though. I can go give Velvet to every city that you know. I'm a hustler, homie. I get up in the morning, stretch up with the morning, yawning, and roll over and have a morning on my Larry Flint. Ain't no telling what whip 'em in. Candy coated paper, switching colors like a million. Baby, I'm a hustler.
And I have to make it know my love.
Baby, I'm a hustler.
I have to feed my love, my love.
Baby, I'm a hustler.
And nothing you can do will overbreak me.
Baby,
Ooh.
I'm a hustler.
Cause I have to feed my love. I have to feed my love.
Baby, I'm a
Hustle. Hustle.
baby, I'm a hustler.
Told you.
Baby, I'm a hustler.
Told me.
Baby, I'm a
Amazing. We will be right back with Kendra once she gets all set from her set. All right, so we had an amazing set, and I think I heard her new single in there somewhere. But without further ado, Kendra Black. Hey, Kendra, how's it going?
Hi, Celia. Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. It's Memorial Day, and, you know, it's not raining. So, you know, it's been an awesome day so far. So thank you for playing a set for us today. And I'm so excited to talk to you about, obviously, all of the different things that you have going on. But if I'm right, I'm pretty sure that I heard your new single in there. Is that correct?
Yep, that was the closing song.
Awesome. So, for people who aren't super familiar with you and your music, can you give us a little background on, what you do?
Well, I'm a singer, DJ, started producing too. I have a company, record label. I do a lot of things, but mostly as far as who I am, I'm a performer. I sing, I DJ, I multitask. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I can tell because you were singing along with the track. Is that something that you do often?
Well, it's mostly the tracks that I'm singing onto are instrumentals. So, kind of like I did with I'm Better, which was like in the middle of the set. I mixed that song in and I was singing over it almost as if I were the song, the recorded song. And then actually, the first song I started with is the new single that's going to be coming out next month.
Well, awesome.
Yes, which is a remix of my single This Love from my latest album. And yeah, no, it's something that I'm passionate about, both, singing and DJing. So recently I started combining it. And, this is what I do. It's my, peculiarity that makes me, that sets me apart, the DJing and the singing at the same time. So it can be both a concert and a DJ set.
That's awesome. And that combination obviously goes really well with both in-person and live stream shows because it
Yeah.
keeps it more interactive.
Exactly, yeah.
So what inspired you to, get into writing music, creating music, and I guess what brought you to this point?
Um, well, it's always been something that I enjoy doing. And obviously my journey has taken me in many different places. When I started singing, I was mostly, R&B, and then I went into like pop, hip hop, rap, and now I'm into like electronic music. Before that, I also have a background in professional ballet, which I still do, but music took over, and it's just like, what I've been doing throughout my life has always evolved, and that's the way I like it. Yeah.
I like that, you have all of these different influences in your music. Like you mentioned, you started with R&B and now you're doing a lot more of the electronic. I feel like a lot of artists don't really evolve and they stay within one genre, but
Yeah.
you're taking things and you're using them in different ways to, I guess, better your craft. Is that kind of how you think about it?
Yes, but also I think in order to have a show that sets you apart and makes people interested in watching it, because there's a lot of artists out there of all genres. Like in order to have people um, be interested in what you do and in you as an artist, truly, you have to be different. And that doesn't mean that you have to like push yourself to be different, but it means that you have to find what is different about you and the way you do it. And that's kind of like what I have come to with my DJing and singing and everything. I was like, all right, this is what's going to be different about me.
That's awesome. And I know that you've had like a lot of like different I know music videos that you've done, a lot of different kinds of songs, which is amazing. And I know that you have an interesting guest on one of your songs. I'm pretty sure that I heard Snoop Dogg on one of your songs.
Yes, Snoop Dogg is on my single Rude for my album The Edge, which was my first album that I released. And actually, Spice One is from the same like roster, and he's on my new single Hustla, which is the closing song of the set that I just played. And yeah, it's just awesome because other than those two features, I did have a feature. Okay, so my very first single, my song Tonight, did have two rappers that are now really good friends of mine featured on it. But after that, my next feature was Snoop Dogg, which was awesome, because it was unexpected. And then it was, it just skyrocketed me forward. So that was great. And then moving forward, I did other projects. Again, like you said, I tried out different styles again. After The Edge, I released my single Dangerless, which is more like, it has a lot of like electronic but indie vibes, so very different from like the pure pop that was in The Edge. And then in The Fire, I had another feature with Cody Burbage, which was actually the same rapper from Tonight, my first single.
Oh, wow.
And and then after that Spice One. So it's like I like to be very selective with my features, and you know, keep moving forward. And yeah, I just love features. It's great. It's a great way to connect with the other artists and make a product that will be then, you know, that would appeal to all sides.
Makes sense. And, you know, collaboration, especially these days, is super important because obviously, if you're working with other people, you get exposure to their audience, to your audience, and you can make something that's
Exactly.
amazing. And I know that you've been collaborating a lot with some of our friends at VBT on some of
Yes.
their lives and things along those lines. What have you been up to, I guess, during the pandemic these days?
A lot. I've been working on music, obviously working on my DJ sets and voice and songs. I'm also writing a book,
Oh, wow.
and working on more songs that I'm still like creating. They're still nowhere near ready. And one of them is actually the soundtrack for a show of a friend of mine that she wants to pitch to Netflix, which is really cool. It's like Earth themed, and it's very, you know, in tune with like our current battles and what's going on. So I'm doing that too. And then I'm also collaborating with some producers that have asked me to be on their track and needed vocals for it. So I'm doing that as well. Yeah, pretty much a lot of things.
Sounds like you were a busy, busy lady. And I know that obviously Hustla came out, what was it? Not this
Yeah, Friday, May
Friday, but the
15th.
Friday before.
Yes.
And you've been doing a lot of press interviews, all of that for Hustler lately, which I've seen some of them and they're great. And I know that you've also partnered up with our friends at Cushware and all of that as well.
Yes. And the single has also been doing really well. It almost has 4,000 streams, or it
Oh,
might
wow.
already be there today. I haven't checked yet. And it's been like a little over a week, so I'm really happy. And BBT Live, The Movers, Cushware have helped so much. Like, I haven't known them for that long, you know, and just the you know, the passion and the care and the friendliness and, you know, everything that they've put into helping me promote my new stuff and just like get me out there, that meant everything. Like that's the kind of collaborations I want to have in my life. Good people that are just like on board with you, you know, in the same boat. That's beautiful.
100%. And I know that everyone in all of the organizations, VBT, Movers, is super supportive. And I'm glad that I'm glad that you're able to come on here I'm glad everyone's able to help get all of the information out. And I'm so excited to hear that the single is doing so well because, you know, I've listened to it. Obviously, we just played it, and it's a great song. And you know, for someone who wants to check it out in its, I guess, entirety, where would they be able to find it?
I'm everywhere. So iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube. Yeah, I mean everywhere. You know, depending on what platform they use. Personally, I'm old-fashioned. I still use Apple Music. I like Spotify a lot, but Apple Music is my favorite. I guess because of like the layout. I don't know, like the color. I don't know. But yeah, it's available everywhere.
I gotcha. I gotcha. I mean, some people commit to one that they like and they stick with that for their entire life. I mean, I'm a Spotify person personally, but you know,
Most people
Apple
are.
Music is great too. So for people who aren't familiar, like where are you based out of? And like on a typical you know, day, place, whatever, where would they be able to see you perform? Are you, I know that you are obviously, it looks like you're in a city.
Yeah.
Where are you based out of?
I'm based in New York City. I have been for a lot of years now, but I'm international. I was born in Italy, and then I traveled a lot, and then my travels brought me to New York, where I stayed for the longest. Then I stayed any other place really, and yeah, that's where I'm based up. But I really like travel all over, and I perform mostly in like, or in the past I performed mostly in big like music venues in New York. But now that I DJ as well, I'm also excited to be able to perform at clubs and just you know, just more variety, not just like big venues, but also like big clubs. Like I'm thinking Marquee in New York, if you heard of it, or Lavo, and you know, all these cool places. Aside from that, I've also toured around. I've been to Cali, and Philadelphia. Where else? Atlantic City, Italy, obviously, I toured over there as well. So it really depends. Like, I have a section on my website that has, everything up to date as far as shows go. And obviously, like, regular conditions without the coronavirus. So, yeah, if my fans want to see me perform, just tune in to my website, kendrablackmusic.com, and everything will be on there.
Awesome. And I hope that, you can get into those clubs and everything soon. I know the world's a little crazy right now, but at least people can
It's
see
ending,
you.
though. I'm
It's
positive.
but hopefully, they remove those limits on, the big parties, because those are
Yeah.
the ones to be a part of. I do event photography, so I have been to my share of fun events like that. But I think with what you do and what you bring to the table between the DJing and the singing, uh, any event that you can, be a part of is going to be a fun time. So
Definitely.
I hope that, things change and you can do that soon. But I'm going to circle back a little bit, and I know that you've been doing some live sets online. What inspired you to, take yourself and put yourself online and do these live sets? Because a lot of people that I know, whether they're in the DJ industry, the performing industry, kind of were like, why, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the online stuff, or I'm not comfortable recording myself. So that's a couple of the things that I've been hearing. What inspired you to perform online?
Well, mostly I've never done it. Just like you said, I just show up and perform. That's the way I do things. And also, it's easier with like setting up audio and just like having the audio come through properly. I mean, yeah, I've dealt with a lot of that lately with all the live streams, and I think I'm learning how to have it as clear as possible through any device, any platform. But yeah, so basically, I never really got into that, and then when all this started, I really had no choice. So I was like, okay, let me try this out. This could be fun. This could be a new way that I can do things that I can also implement once things open up, and I can keep doing it aside from performing live as well. So yeah, I was like, let's do it, and I like it. It's nice.
It's like another thing in like your tool belt that you're going to be able to do in
Yes.
the future, which is awesome. And I want to circle back real quick to our friends at VBT, because I know they've been doing open mics, and I know that both you and your dad have been performing on these, correct?
Yes, my dad from Italy got really excited about the open mics, and he's been a regular, just like myself. So.
That's awesome. I've tuned into a couple of them, and every time like he comes on, I know everyone freaks out in the comments and everyone loves it.
Yeah, everyone's so happy to have him, which means everything. It's great. Yeah, my dad is a really good singer-songwriter. Like some songs are obviously beautiful covers by De Andra and artists that he likes, but other ones he made from scratch. The music, the lyrics, and the thing is I won't even know until he tells me, and then I'm like, wait, what? You made this song? Like what? So yeah, so it's great that BBT Live and the New York crowds, the American crowds, really appreciate his music. It's it's really like deep traditional Italian music, and it's beautiful to our ears. But knowing that it's beautiful to your ears too is awesome.
Maybe you'll have to bring Dad on tour. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, now that I have a record label, I'm thinking of signing him, and also like people I believe in. There's a lot of bands and artists that I've crossed paths with, throughout my singing career, and a lot of them that I'm like, what, let me help you release your music. I'm also working on a distribution deal for my label. Yeah, basically.
So that was actually going to be my next question. I know that you are working on, obviously, your company. Would you be able to tell us a little bit more about, obviously, what you've been up to lately?
So Emerald Sounds is a project that I started. Well, I was already like planning it this summer, but it officially started in October. And it's something that I wanted to do because I'm really passionate about performing, but there's also a business side to me that I never got to really exploit until now, basically. So I was like, what if I made a company, a music company, that doesn't only take care of music? that, you know, takes care of music, bookings for artists, whether they're actors, dancers, you name it, but also businesses and connect them. So that's what my company does, because I wanted to change the game a little bit, and facilitate things for people. So my company is almost like a powerful like mediator that just connects people and helps them get to the next level, using my connections that I've gathered throughout the years and everything, and also helps artists keep bookings consistent and everything, as well as music services that help them with their development as an artist and, you know, all that. So it's going to be a pretty cool platform. It already launched. It's still obviously evolving every day, but it's already like active on emeraldsounds.com, and I'm really proud of it.
That's awesome. And, you know, I actually have your logo, so I'm going to pop that up really quick so people can see that. And, you know, whenever they see that pop up on Instagram or Facebook, they'll know it's you. So this
Yeah.
is what the logo looks like, which is really interesting. I like the shape and I love the colors.
Thank you. Yeah, black and gold are my you know, my favorite colors, or among my favorite colors, and that's a, you know, it's a beautiful like diamond for emerald. You know.
That's awesome. And, you know, like the service that you're providing, there's not that many people that are willing to be like, hey, I'm going to help you, or I'm
Yeah,
going to put more
exactly.
connections in. So it's really I would say a game changer in terms of how you're able to help people. Instead of just saying, hey, you're going to come work with me and this is what it is, you're able to expand out and help them in different ways.
Exactly, because also being an independent artist myself, I went through highs, I went through lows, I collaborated with great people, I collaborated with terrible people. You know, it just happens. You come across everything. You know, you come across the best and the worst and everything in between. So it's like I really wanted to create something that would help independent artists do their thing without waiting to be discovered, because that's, you know, that's what I did. I didn't wait for anyone. Obviously, I keep my eyes open, but I don't stop in front of anything. I'm not going to wait for the opportunity to come to me. I'm going to figure out ways to move forward with what I have and constantly, like, you know, get higher and higher. So that's what my company hopefully will be doing for independent artists, you know, and that way, um, you know, they can just hopefully live off music, which is the hardest thing for us.
I get you. But that's amazing that you've been creating your own opportunities and gaining all of this experience. For someone who's just starting out, what are a few words of wisdom that, you know, you can give to them?
Well, very much, you know, go your own way. Don't stop. Don't let anyone tell you that you should be more or that you should be less. Or actually, one thing I want to talk about. Many people in the industry, especially I know me being a woman and a girl, and being someone that's very free. You know, like I'm not one of those people that gets on scene and thinks immediately like, oh, let me cover up so that they'll know that I'm a serious artist and they'll know that I'm in it for the music and not just to like show off. No, that's BS too. Obviously, the other extreme is bad as well, but this extreme is equally as bad. Know who you are, and especially if you're a woman in this industry, don't be afraid to be who you are and be free. Because one thing that is very, you know, has been very heavily criticized and changed and altered and molded is like, you know, the way women experience their femininity and just like their true, like, you know, feminine energy. Because if you do it too much, then it's wrong. If you don't do it enough, then nobody looks at you. It's time for this to change, you know, just be free. And for all men out there, be accepting, you know. It's like that's the one thing that I've been thinking about lately, and I was just like, it's crazy. Like, why do women have so many, you know, like have so much trouble just being free and being like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna wear this. I know everyone's gonna be looking at me, so what, you know? So it's just like, yeah, just be free. And for obviously, okay, so advice for artists of all genders: go your own way. So no matter who you are and what you're trying to do with your music, with your image, whatever, just like really elevate yourself and create yourself from a place of truth. You know, take who you are and enhance it. That doesn't mean changing yourself, but it means really understanding what's the core of what your sound is and what your soul is, and being like, all right, so then this is me. This is what I'm going to be projecting. So yeah.
That's amazing. You had a lot of amazing points in there, because I know even in my industry with videography, photography, like we have that same struggle of how you represent yourself, because you have to represent yourself as either the business person, as someone ready to work, or you might get stereotyped in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. And the fact that you are kind of advocating for being yourself is amazing, because that's kind of what we need these days. We need authentic people putting out authentically them in both I guess the music space, the social media space, whatever it may be, so that they're represented in, I don't know, the best possible way.
Yeah, the best possible way for them,
Mhm.
because what works for an artist might not necessarily work for another.
Mhm.
Like look at Billie Eilish. She like her strength is that she doesn't want to show herself, and she's doing great. Like she's obviously very beautiful, and she's covered up, and that's great.
Mhm.
Then you take Beyonce. Her strength is that she gets out there and she freaking rocks it. You know what I mean? like how are you gonna tell me that either one of those sides are right or wrong? You can't.
Mhm.
You can't, so it's just like, know who you are and move forward like that. And me being someone that's very determined but also very sensitive, like people have tried to like push me in all different directions. I almost felt like I was in a ship, and the people around me that I was taking advice from were the sea, and it was just like rocking me and almost like killing me. And I was like, whoa, I don't know what's happening to me. I'm not in control of anything, which I was, but like, just the way information got to me, I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do next. And it's like, just, you got to break through that. You got to break through that. It's worth it. It's very worth it.
So basically you're saying, like, hold on to what's important to you, even when all of those sources are coming at you, right?
Yeah, and don't be afraid to like maximize it, whichever direction that is, whichever, yeah.
That's awesome. And, being able to push on and keep creating is super important. And for those people that might be like, now's not the right time, or I need to do this before I can start, what would be your advice to just kind of get the ball rolling?
Well, that's something I struggle with too. Like sometimes before I take care of an important project, or I know that I'm gonna have to put all of myself into something, whether it's a performance or a song or like anything. Like I have to get other things out of the way so that I can have a clear mind. I'll even clean the house if I have to, even if what I'm about to do has nothing to do with my house, it's somewhere else. But like, so my advice is don't let that take over you. Don't push the important things away because you're not ready to do them. But also, if you feel like you need to take care of other things prior, do it in a healthy way, but do it. Get the life stuff out of the way, and then just be full on with the artistry and just focus on that. Be laser focused on your artistry. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'm curious. What is kind of the process from creating the music to getting the music out there for you? Is it a lot of
It's always different.
well, like, what has been your favorite experience then?
Well, it's always different for me because like it depends what I'm doing. If I'm collaborating with a producer, then sometimes they'll reach out to me and they'll be like, hey, here's a track, do you like it? If not, we can make as many modifications that you like. If you want to work on it, let's do this. Other times it'll be me being like, or most of the times just being like, here's my idea, please make a track on this melody, and let's get this started, and then I'm going to send you the vocals, and then we can mix it. So it depends, and other times it's all me, and it varies. So yeah, also as an advice for like artists out there, don't be afraid to like change your process, collaborate with people, experiment, try different genres, because that's also ultimately what I did as well. Like in my album The Fire, there's like 3 to 5 different genres. I mean, there's subgenres. That's why I'm like thinking about it. But it's like, And for all of those, it was different people that worked on it. For example, my song Mind Games was myself, the composer Nick Babian, and Cody Burbage, the rapper. So it's like, you know, that one we sat down. I remember that day we sat down and we just like made that. And other times it's like, you know, you have to work at distance with people, or sometimes it's, you know, it's your project, it's your baby. So you have to just literally be hands on with everything, you know.
I love that you kind of emphasize the fact that every time's different, because you know, every collaboration, every person you work with, I guess even every interview that you do is going to be different. There's going to be a different vibe, and it's really about adapting, right? It's about adapting and making sure that, you know, you still stick to yourself, but you also work with what you have around you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, you know, sometimes, let's say I'll have like a few interviews in the same week. Like, I'm going to make sure that they don't all sound the same. It's important because if 3 people this week ask me what my advice to artists is, I'm not going to sit here and like say the same things, you know, or like maybe I will in different ways, because ultimately that's what I'm trying to say. But, you know, it's a different day. It's a different, you know, it's a different opportunity, different interview. So it's like, yeah, you gotta be different. So many artists, including myself in the past, are so afraid of being different. Like, if they do something, then they don't want to do the next thing differently, because then what are people gonna think? What if my previous project was pop and this is alternative R&B or electronic? Like, what are people gonna do? And they just like, you know, you can't do that. You have to be, you know, you have to be different, even, you know, in everything you do. Interviews, songs, concerts.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense, because, you know, if everyone made the same content and everyone made the same kind of, say, music, if everyone made the same pop music, the world would be really boring, right?
Yes.
The world would be very much like, all right, we have the same 3 chords in all of the songs. It all sounds the same. And
sometimes that happens. Like, sometimes, you know, I'll ask my Google to play music, and then I'll be shazamming the songs that I like. And I'll be like, oh, what? This was 5 different artists? I thought it was the same person. He was just playing, like, you know. So, yeah, it's a lot of people do that because they're just like, all right, what is trending right now? Let me study that, reverse engineer it, and just do it. It's like, all right, you can do it if you want, but, like, why?
Yeah, and I think a testament to that was you brought up Billie Eilish, and she blew up, and she had a totally different sound than everything else on the radio at that time.
Yeah. And it might not appeal to some people, and it might appeal to other people, and it's like, it's okay, you know. It is what it is. It's about who you are as an artist. That's who she is. Then go for it, girl. You know what I mean?
100%. And I know that obviously you're working on many projects and you're working on your business, but, you know, what are your goals for, you know, the upcoming months or year, or couple years? What is your big plan?
I mean, I have many. Really, like, this whole quarantine has been about wanting to do everything at once and not being able to do it, but at the same time, surprisingly moving even faster, because it's almost like life put me in my room, like, all right, that's all you're going to do right now. Work on your craft. Like, screw everything else that you usually do during the day and stuff. Just, you know, that's what you're going to do right now. So, I guess my projects after all this is over is to already have the foundations of my, you know, my next level, which I'm currently working on. So performing at raves, performing in nightclubs, mostly raves. Like, earlier I said nightclubs. Yeah, I take that back. That's cool, but like, I love raves. You know, I love to go to raves. So performing at some would be amazing. Just the energy and everything, and the people, and just performing for so many people, they're just vibing. So yeah. So yeah, when things open up, I want to perform like that on a bigger scale, and I want to obviously like have more music out, which is going to come out in the next few months, because luckily it was ready before COVID-19, so it's ready to be released. So my fans can expect a release a month for a little bit. Yeah, just like take my company to the next level as far as like what it does for people as well, because a big part of what I do is basically helping people, because throughout my career I have been screwed over, I always got back up, never made a big fuss about it, but like I want that to change for independent artists because it has to change. It really does. And once it does, if I can, if I can give my contribution for that to change and be a middleman that ensures things go smoothly and artists don't get taken advantage of, then hey, that's one of my biggest goals right there.
That's amazing. And if someone wants to work with you and your company, how would they get a hold of you? How would they start?
Well, they can either fill out the contact form on the website, emeraldsounds.com, or they can email me at kendrablack@emeraldsounds.com. Or just, message me through social media. Although some people like message me through Instagram and I like feel bad. I never see their messages because Instagram is just too much of a mess to check sometimes with messages. So definitely, if you're serious about working with me, definitely use the website contact form or just email me. Again, kendrablack@emeraldsounds.com.
That makes a lot of sense. I get a good amount of message requests, and sometimes it takes a few days, if not longer, to find them.
So for them only, and be like, okay, what's important and what's not? Do I know this person? Do I not?
Yeah, my favorite is when they just send hi, and it's like, okay, hello. I don't know what you want.
Like, hi.
That's so funny. But I mean, we're coming up towards the end of the show, and we mentioned how people can work with you. But if they're looking to listen to some of your music one more time for people that joined in late, where can they find that?
Pretty much everywhere on my website, Kendra Black Music. I have everything on there, all my social media platforms, all my music platforms, all my new releases, and stuff. Or go online and type in Kendra Black and check out my music that's available on the platform that you're using to listen to music. And yeah, my social media. I always promote things on social media. Yeah.
Awesome. That's super smart. Obviously, social media is where everything is at these days.
Oh, and also my social media is Kendra Black Music, if people watching don't know. And the company's Instagram is Emerald Sounds Company, and Facebook as well.
Perfect. And I have those all in the description. So if you guys want to follow those and, follow Kendra, that'd be awesome. So, Kendra, do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with everyone today? Floor is yours.
Well, definitely stay on the lookout for my new releases that will be coming out very soon. Don't worry, I'll be heavily posting about them, so you will know when that's happening and how. And if you haven't done that yet, go listen to my single Hustla featuring Spice One. And tune in on Facebook and watch my live streams when when that's happening, when you can. I have another one on Tuesday, I believe at 6 p.m. I gotta check the time, but it's with Paul Vibes from The Movers, and I'm really excited because that's going to be another talk, basically, another candid talk and performance by me, just like right now. And also on Saturday, I'm going to have another set at 2, which is only going to be music, and that's going to be fun. It's going to be DJ set plus vocals again. And just, stay tuned on my social media. There's a lot of fun content that I'm going to be posting and cool live streams. So definitely check it out.
That's awesome. And I know you're going to have a fun time with Paul. He's amazing.
Yes.
He's a great guy. And I'm glad that, we were able to do our show today. So I want to thank you again for coming on, playing a set and taking the time to sit down with us.
Thank you.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close up the show real quick. I'm going to pull you off of here, and I will say thank you off screen once the live is over. So hang around for a sec. So thank you. Wow, I apparently have a wire up over here. But thank you, everyone, for coming and tuning in today. We had an amazing time with Kendra. We got to see her perform. We got to learn about her music, and we got to learn about the business that she's growing to help the entire community, whether it's musicians, whether it's businesses, whether it's just mediating so that people can meet and connect. So she has so many awesome things going on. Make sure to follow her on her social media, which is down in the description, and check out her music. I hope you guys are having an awesome Memorial Day. And if you guys want to watch this back from the beginning, It is here on the Celia Werner Productions page, and you can watch back the entire episode. It's going to be on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So be sure to tune in, and we will see you on the next episode. I hope you have an amazing day, and I really need to script this ending out. So maybe before the next episode, we'll have an actual script. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.